Alrighty, welcome to a 3-on-3 cube draft, and I've got the biggest grin. You know why? You know why. Long-time watchers will know why. It's a 3-on-3. It is myself, Broccoli Rob, I love the name, and Updraft, good buddy. I like Updraft. He's a good drafter. Yeah, an Updrafter even. Battling against the Bow, a new addition who's been in tons of drafts. I love it. Sven and the Tank. Anyways, back to why I'm grinning. Oh, there's Lurrus. There's a Lurrus. I just can't resist, and I won't. I also think it's a very defensible pick. There's Solitude and there's Lurrus. There's also Memory Lapse and Fetch Land. Those are the four best cards. I'm going to take Lurrus. I'm going to assume Tank probably took one of Fetch, Solitude, or Lapse. It's not clear to me which one, but I think Baleful Strix has a really good chance of coming back. Now there is a Hull Breacher, but I think I'm going to take Inquisition, and I'm going to try to not pass any draw sevens. If Tank took Memory Lapse, Hull Breacher is a really good combo, but honestly, I haven't been that impressed with Hull Breacher that much. It obviously has its uses but and moments, but it is a card that I used to think was like, not a card I would almost ever pass, and now I think it's a card that, it can be really good, but isn't always, especially in a 3-on-3, though. Lurrus also gets hurt a little by that, but this is a great Lurrus pack. Because look, there's Mishra's Research Desk and Aether Spellbomb. One of the two, or both, is probably going to come back, because Stoneforge, Hull Breacher, Firebolt, Thalia, Time Warp, Sentinel are all in competition. And if Tank took Solitude or Wooded Foothills, the Hull Breacher doesn't fit quite as smoothly, Okay, this pack has Fury. Grief I don't think is that good. Chrome Mox, Flooded Strand, Tundra, Preordain. These are all great. I'm going to take Flooded Strand. I think Flooded Strand is going to work out really nicely. A lot of red and blue in this pack. And yeah, I do love Preordain and I love Spell Pierce. I do think the cantrips have gotten a little bit worse with the advent of Surveil Lands. And the reason is, on turn 1, Flooded Strand to fetch an Undercity Sewers is kind of like casting a Preordain. It uses your turn 1 mana slot, and it makes Preordain a little less necessary. There's a lot more Preordains now. I did pass Lapse into Hull Breacher into Preordain, so I got to watch that. There's also Fury. It's possible Tank took Solitude and then would take, like Stoneforge and then into Fury, but I think this is a pretty easy Flooded Strand. And then this next pack, look, there's a Giver of Runes and an Esper Sentinel. I think I'm just going to take Giver of Runes. Works really nicely with Lurrus. I'm aiming to be like an Esper mid-range deck here. If Thalia Wheels, that'd make me happy. Baleful Strix is another card which could come back and I'd play. I wouldn't mind Esper Sentinel coming back. I also think Giver is one of the better cards in this pack. There's like a Night Scythe. There's, a Wrath, I guess. But I'm just pretty happy taking Giver of Runes here. Tide Hollow Sculler is the kind of card I'm looking for. And these packs have been pretty nice for Lurrus. Look, now there's a Mishra's Bauble. Fantastic. I like Walking Ballista too, and I like Endotha Triumph, but Bauble Lurrus is just so strong. So, plus I already have a Fetch Land, so it's a little bit like its own Preordain, right? I get to look at my top card, and if I like it, I don't crack the Fetch, and if I dislike it, I shuffle with the Fetch. So, before drawing, of course. Passing Saheeli, Palantir, Ballista, and Holy Heat. No draw sevens yet. Ooh, this is tough. First of all, there's Sheltered by Ghosts, which I'm not going to take. I'm going to hope to wheel. I would take Thraben over Sheltered. But I think Sheltered by Ghosts in a Lurrus deck is actually kind of sick. You get to replay Sheltered off the Lurrus, which is a nice removal spell to get access to. There's also Darkslick Shores and Creeping Tar Pit, but I think I will just pass both of those. I don't even know that I'm going to play blue, though. I probably am. I think I want Thraben more. Thraben is really good. I'm not sure. That's a close one. Baleful Strix came back. So did Duress. Oh man, I love Baleful Strix, but I probably should just take Duress. I think having Hand Disruption is really important for this deck, and Duress is a really good version of that, so I'll do that. It's also not 0% I could get Strix back, though I don't think it's going to come back. I think the 3 cards left, well, who knows. Aether Spellbomb's gone. I like Research Desk, but I already have Bauble. I don't necessarily want to splash red, and Unexpectedly Absent is looking pretty good, given that I only have white and black cards so far. I don't even have another color, so I'll just take Absent. Firebolt is still there, and so is Time Warp. Interesting. So I know that this pack, I'm not passing any draw sevens because there's none in the pack. Well, this is an easy Tundra. I can't put any of the other cards in my deck except Kitsa or Robber, and I think I'd rather take Tundra before taking a marginal blue card. Here I'll take Evolved Sleeper. I like the Sleeper. And Spell Pierce and the Preordain were both gone. Not surprising. Oh, an Endotha Triumph is nice, because this at the very least means Flooded Strand gets tapped black. So that's pretty good, and it gets green for whatever that's worth. So anyways, we're not going to see any more draw 7s this pack. We know that. Pack 2, Tank's passing to us. And what I'm going to need to discover in Pack 2, best I can, did Tank take Preordain? Did Tank take, sorry, not Preordain, Hullbreacher, or Solitude, or Fury? Like, which of these cards did Tank take? I'm going to take Creeping Tar Pit. I think Tar Pit is really strong in the Lurrus decks. I do like Nature's Lore, but, Darkslick Shores, but I think Tar Pit is more important. And then here, I don't mind passing a Fly Trap, and I think Tribal Flames could actually... There's some versions of this deck that runs Tribal Flames. Oh, I'll take Time Warp. I don't know that I'm going to play it, but I don't think I'm going to play Research Desk at this point. I've got enough good stuff to bring back with Lurrus, and Time Warp's pretty strong, so no reason to pass a stronger card. All right, what do we got? Oh, there's the Ragavan. There's also Ocelot Pride and Remand. I'm going to take Ocelot Pride. Ocelot Pride is so good, and I'm playing Heavy White. Okay. Anyways, this pack, I would like to try to figure out best I can if Tank took Hullbreacher. So I'm going to be on the lookout for cards that combo with Hullbreacher getting passed by Tank, because in Pack 3, I just need to know how important it is to hate a Time Twister. So there's no, obviously, this isn't an exact science, but I'm going to try my best. Okay, Mockingbird's an interesting one with Lurrus. You can cast it to the graveyard for 1 or 2, but you can cast it, of course, from your hand for bigger. I like cards like that. I'm passing a Chaos Defiler. That's the best card I'm passing. But I think I'm going to get Shadowy Backstreet back, or Mockingbird, certainly. But I think Remand, Ragavan, Chaos Defiler are almost assuredly going to go. And then Mox Opal, Breeding Pool, Narset have outs. But I'll take Ocelot Pride here. Oh, wow. Okay. This pack has Reanimate, Mana Drain, and Fourth Earlingus. So a bunch of busted cards. So Thibaut, the thing is, Thibaut almost always, from my experience, drafts just like 5 colors, so cutting them off is going to be difficult. I don't mind passing Mana Drain. I'm not going to take Mana Drain. It's whether I take Reanimate or Fourth Earlingus. Reanimate is clearly better for my deck, given that I'm black-white, maybe splashing blue, probably splashing blue, and getting back Lurrus is strong. I don't like passing Fourth Earlingus, but all of these cards are probably fine for Thibaut. They could play either one. They passed a Fury. I don't know. I'll take Reanimate here. That's a close one though. I don't know about that one. Okay. This pack has an Underground Sea and a Misty Rainforest. Misty, I think, is probably better. Yeah, because it gets blue, white, and tapped black. There's also Lightning Bolt and Overgrown Tomb and Underground Mortuary. There's also an LED, which I do like with Lurrus, but I still don't really strive to play it in a non-combo deck. And then there's Securitron Squadron and Containment Priest, but this looks like a pretty easy Misty, to be honest. And now there's an Entomb and a Life Death. Interesting. There's some duels I don't care about. There's a Counterspell. I guess I could take Life Death. I could take Entomb, but I don't really want Entomb in a Lurrus deck all that much. Like, yes, Entomb with Lurrus is a combo, naturally, but I'm not entombing anything good to reanimate. I also could be a Domain Lurrus deck now that I have 2 fetch lands, but because I have an Endotha Triumph, Stomping Ground would fit nicely there. Maybe I could get Tribal Flames in, or I could just take Life Death. I think I'll just take Life Death as another reanimate and see where this goes. Now there's a Malcolm, a No More Lies, I guess a FOMO and a Chainsaw, but I don't really want to play red cards. Pentad Prism I don't like so much. Winds of Abandon is decent, but I'm not sure. There's also a Zeotor's Proving Ground, which I could get off Misty. I think I'm just going to take No More Lies. It's a really good card in this kind of deck, and I have really good blue-white fixing, so I'll do that. Now I'll just take Rafine's Tower, have an actual on-color fetch. Passing a Flage, not a big deal. And an Expressive Iteration and an Imperial Seal, sure. And then the Backstreet Wield, sort of the Mockingbird. It's also Ketria Triome. I have this Domain stuff going on. There's even a Jetmir's Gardens here, but I think I should just take Shadowy Backstreet. I really am only Esper cards right now. There's no reason to get too fancy, though it looks like my mana is going to support Time Warp. Time Warp Lurrus can be really strong. Obviously, whenever you untap with Lurrus and play, you're pretty happy, but Time Warp is really strong in that position. Also, Time Warp with like creatures that snowball like Ocelot Pride can be pretty interesting. So I might still get Mockingbird back. I probably won't get one of the Triomes back if I had to guess. Also worth noting, that last pack there was a Narset. It does make it less likely Tank took the Hull Breacher. Not, it doesn't. Oh, and then there's a Memory Jar. Okay, I don't think Tank took the Hull Breacher. I'm curious why whoever took the Hull Breacher didn't take Jar. But what could have happened is Hull Breacher could have gone over here, like Sven or Broccoli Rob, like around, nearly around the table, in which case the Jar, they would have seen it early and not taken it. I'm going to take Nowhere to Run. It's a decent removal spell. And then here, oh, Underground Sea, Tomb, Mortuary came back. Well, I don't want a tapped land. There's also Securitron Squadron. So I kind of like this card. For 2 mana, you get a 2/2, and that's not that good with Vigilance. But for 5 mana, you get a 2/2 and a 4/4 because the tokens themselves pump themselves. And with Lurrus, you can cast this for 5 mana out of the graveyard. I think I'm supposed to take it here. This pack, I guess Neshoba Brawler is actually going to be the card I'm most likely to want. I have naturally 3 lands that cast it. All right. And there's a Tribal Flames there. Maybe, okay, Zeotor's Proving Ground came back. Oh, Malcolm's really good, though. It's funny, I'm just like on the verge of going Domain here, but I think just going Esper makes more sense. I guess I'll just hate the iteration here. There's 2 decent green cards in that pack. Carryton and Iteration are the 2 best cards just in the dark, I think, and White's the worst. It's the most narrow. I guess I think taking Iteration is fine. And then here, will I play Mockingbird? I think I will. If I will, it's worth taking because I could hate Eagles. I'm not worried about Elspeth. It also makes it less likely Tank took Solitude if Eagles are getting past this late. That's a nice little combo. Mostly because you cast the Eagles and you give the Solitude +1/+0 in first strike. Mostly it's because it's a land you can pitch to cast Solitude. All right, well, I think I have a really good deck going into pack 3 minus, power. I don't like that I had to pass 4 Theurlingus, but I think it worked out okay. I could play Pillage the Bog. It's a strong card. Overlord, I guess I don't mind passing. If I get the mana for Pillage, well, there's another green land. I mean, right now I've got like, let's not move the cards around. A couple green lands and like I have 2 fetches and 2 green lands and then 2 green cards. All right, so this pack, there's a Bombardiers and a Strip Mine and a Lotus Petal and a Pyroglyph. I'm not going to hate the Bombardiers because I do think Bombardiers is better than Pyroglyph, but hating a card I can't play and still passing a very strong red card doesn't really make sense. Hating a red card and passing one. So do I want Strip Mine or do I want Lotus Petal? Lotus Petal is probably better for me. It's pretty good in Lurrus decks as just a way to make things come out a little faster. Strip Mine is a good card. If I take Strip Mine, Tank probably takes one of these 2, probably Bombardiers, but then Updraft could take the other one. If I take Lotus Petal, they get a Strip Mine as an option. I think I'm still going to take Lotus Petal and just pass a bunch of pretty good stuff. Oh, now I'm probably going to take a Johnny. A Johnny's excellent. And I would love to wheel Lingering Souls. Parallax Wave doesn't quite fit. There's also a Watery Grave that I wouldn't mind and a Portable Hole, but a Johnny is quite good. Skull Clamp would be an amazing pickup. This is a really good Skull Clamp deck. Also, Petal speeds me up. I think that's going to be better than Strip Mine. I mean, it is pretty nice to go Ocelot Pride than Strip Mine your land, but I think this is going to work out. And then here, oh man, there's a Fable. So, and a Fiery Confluence. So at least Thibaut, if they took 4 Theurlingus, isn't main red, which makes it a little worse. Now there's also a Ponder, a Samwise, an Oust. These are all pretty good. Ghost Vacuum. If I'd taken Strip Mine, Samwise would be more interesting, but it's still good with Bauble, Petal, and the 2 fetches, plus all my creatures. That said, I might just take Ponder. Ponder's great. I'll wheel a white card for sure. Seems like it's a pretty good use of value. And then here, oh man, Hymn to Turok I really like in this kind of deck, and I think my mana supports it pretty well. I could use an untapped black-white land. I only have 2 more picks to get that, but even if I don't get that, I have 3 tapped black-white lands and 2 fetches, which is pretty good. So I'll take him. Valgavoth's Onslaught is also a card I would definitely consider splashing, and Phantasmal Image isn't bad either. A lot of fetches or lands in this pack too. There's a commercial district, Blackleaf Cliffs. These could help if we do want to like splash red and green maybe, but I still don't really see a big reason to do that. Okay, here. Wow, Time Spiral, Fast Bond. I mean, someone's Hull Breaching, I guess. Pyrokinesis. I might take Cryptic. No, I could take Zagoth Triumph. It's another tap land. I don't really want another tap land. Is my mana going to work for Cryptic? I mean, it probably will. Like, I've got all these blue duels, 3 black-white ones. I don't even know if I'm playing this Underground Mortuary. Yeah, all right. I will take the Cryptic command. And then last pick. Ugh. There's a Vamp that I really don't want. I hate Vamp in decks like this. I have no good card to Vamp for. My best card I always draw is Lurrus. I'll probably take Exercise. Exile target artifact, enchantment, or creature of 4 power greater. That seems pretty good for me. I mean, if you take out Lurrus right now, this is 18 lands plus a pedal, so I even have room for another card or two. Okay, well, I would say that Mora's Triumphs isn't what I need, but I already have... There's a Concealed Courtyard here I could take, and a Bitter Triumph, which I think I am just going to take. And then Lingering Souls came back. Very happy about that. Passing a Portable Hole, and then Overlord Uro. Jolly Balloon Man. So now I need to cut a card. I could cut this Time Warp. I mean, I might end up cutting the Cryptic, looking at my mana. But I just didn't think Zagoth Triumph was that good either. So the other option is I have 2 fetches and 2 tapped green lands. Maybe Brawler and Pillage the Bog are worth it. But there's nothing to pillage for. This isn't really a combo deck. I didn't get like a Skull Clamp or any one card I really want. I don't have any combos with the Johnny, sadly. Though, well, Securitron Squadron with Lingering Souls is insane. If you cast this for 5 mana, you make a 2/2 and a 4/4, and that's good, right? And then next turn you play in flashback Lingering Souls, they're all 3/3s. Okay, here there's Samwise and Lion Sash. This actually looks like a pretty good Samwise deck, so I think I'll just take that. And I think I will take this Cryptic out. Probably just take the Time Warp out too. And then now our deck is pretty nice and low curve. Decent mana. Again, an untapped black-white land, the only thing I'm really missing. Maybe I want the Valgavoth's Onslaught. I don't think I want Commercial District. I'm not trying to play this Tribal Flames, but Valgavoth's Onslaught is not a crazy card to consider, depending on the matchup. Because right now I can also cut this Underground Mortuary. I mean, if I just played Onslaught, I'd have 5 sources. Maybe that's good. Let's see. Oh, this looks like a really good Dig Through Time deck. I have a lot of cards that go to the graveyard, and besides Lurrus itself, which you can play around, I'm not really using my graveyard. All right, I'll take that over Blooming Marsh. Past 2 expensive blue cards. I'll really late Fast Bond. I'm curious what it was going on this draft. Right now, we're now at 16 lands again here. I guess I'll just take the Carnosaur. It's that or like Tameo. All right, I guess I'll hate Tameo. I don't know. Tameo's better when it's better. I guess I have Time Warp. I could backdoor in a Time Warp Tameo. And, Concealed Courtyard. Yeah, that's important enough for me that I'll pass a Legion Extruder, which is good against me, to be fair. And then here, I'll cut the Overlord, I guess. All right. Pretty solid Lurrus deck. I like how this turned out. Let's go to deck building. All right, so I had to go get an alt art Securitron Squadron. Sure. Securitron Squadron. So this is 16 lands, and I want to play 17. And what am I not playing that's good? I mean, this Cryptic, this Pillage the Bog, this Tameo. It's funny, I actually think my mana base could support Cryptic and Time Warp if I wanted it to, but I don't think I need to is the thing. Because right now I only have 5 blue cards. And let's make our 17 land mana base here and see kind of what it looks like. What about Tempest lands this time? So I have an island, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 blue. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind a 7th blue. And then that leaves like 3 swamps, 3 plains or something like that. And then if I do that, oh no, I want one more, probably one more swamp or plains. Let's say it goes plains. Actually, maybe one more swamp because the Flooded Strand and the Misty can both get untapped white. So this is 3 white, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 white. Plus a Lotus Petal. Yeah, that's pretty good. And black, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 black plus a Lotus Petal. Yeah, I mean, this mana sounds pretty good. I need to cut one card. It could be Mockingbird. I guess maybe I'd side that in if they have good things to copy. It's really nice at coppering Ocelot Pride, though. That is busted. Also, it's also pretty nice copying a Johnny, because I play a Johnny, I play Mockingbird, and I copy it and keep the Mockingbird a Johnny because it's a flyer. Flip the original a Johnny, and end up, yeah, that's a pretty strong set of plays. Mockingbird copying the Securiton Squadron, that doesn't do too much because I don't have the tokens. Yeah. I could also cut Nowhere to Run. It's just 2 mana -3/-3. But I don't have like tons of removal. I wish I had a way to sacrifice it because I could get it back with Samwise or Lurrus, but I don't have that. Okay, I guess I'll cut Mockingbird for now. All right, yeah, I think this deck looks pretty good. I guess I'll put a forest here. I don't think I'm going to play side in any other colors, but you never know. And let's get to it, huh? All right, time for round 1. We are on the draw. We'll reveal Lurrus anyway. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is definitely a keepable hand. Obviously, it's a little slow on the draw to not have anything on 1, depending on what they start on. Badlands go. All right, well, let's go Creeping Tar Pit go. Then turn 2, I can go Plains, leave up No More Lies, and or Samwise if I so choose. Oh, Ancient Tomb. This could be scary. Preacher. Oh, Recurring Nightmare. Huh. Not only is that not too bad, let's just kill it now. Seems pretty great to just snag that when you have the opportunity. And then something like an Entomb isn't too scary. What I really do hope is it is possible that Sven here casts like a Faithless Looting or some other discard effect. Oh, didn't do anything. And then I could reanimate their thing. Let's play Ocelot Pride, leave up Samwise and No More Lies. Though, if Sven goes end of turn, bolt your Ocelot Pride, I probably will just Samwise it back. They didn't play anything last turn for No More Lies, so I don't know why they would necessarily need one this turn. Oh, no plays. Building up to 8 to discard, maybe? Okay, well, let's attack with the Ocelot Pride. I could have played Samwise there, but I didn't feel like I was in a huge hurry to do so. Okay, let's go Shadowy Backstreet. Ooh, let's put Urza's Bauble into my graveyard. And you know what? I think I'm just going to cast Lingering Souls. How bad is that? I think it's okay. It's just so good with Ocelot Pride to be getting more stuff into play. And I have a Bitter Triumph to kill most things that could come into play. Obviously, if Sven goes end of turn, Entomb, untap, Animate Dead, or something like that, I wouldn't be thrilled. Or is my Ocelot Pride dying second main phase here? That would also be interesting. Next turn, I'll be able to flashback Lingering Souls. My concern is that my clock isn't quite fast enough, and if I just passed the turn there and didn't put anything on the board, and then Sven didn't do anything on their turn, I only have the 1 counterspell. It's not like I have 3 counterspells in my hand. But it looks like Sven's considering, Pyrokinesis. Sure. That's not too bad. Pitching Kolagon's command. Okay. I mean, it was a 2 for 2, except Lingering Souls that only dealt with half of it. So it's really a 1.5 for 2. And I also, of course, have like Reanimate and Lurrus. So I think that I will be in a good shape to rebuild. Next turn, we'll see what I draw. If I draw a land, I could just go land, put Lurrus in the hand. I could also reanimate the Ocelot Pride, though. I'm really hoping to save reanimate to steal something off of Sven here. Rite of Flame. Okay. What is this? into Emberwild Captain. Oh, that's not actually too bad. I would really like to draw land here. Land would be excellent. Let's go... Because I could go Bitter Triumph and then animate the captain. If I had a land, I would have had No More Lies up as well. I think I'm still going to do that, though. I'll pay 3 life. Kill that. And then reanimate it and become the Monarch. And then pass the turn. Okay, so... As long as I don't... There's my land. As long as I don't lose the Monarch this turn, I'll have No More Lies and Unexpectedly Absent. And I can cast both in the same turn to protect myself. So I need Sven to not do the same trick of kill and then reanimate my thing, or to not play like a haster that I can't block. Though, of course, most hasters I would be able to just block with the Emberwild Captain. So we'll see. We'll see. Getting a... It's going to be a big turn. Oh, passing the turn? I think I'm in pretty good shape then. And I guess I could play the island here. I will attack, and then certainly I'll just pass the turn after that. Right now, I don't need to be putting more on the board or spending more resources or any of those things. No plays with 5 cards in hand. Okay, Tarfire, sure. Now I think I'm just gonna put Lurrus into my hand. And I can't leave up Unexpectedly Absent, but I can leave up No More Lies. Sven just didn't play anything else this turn that would have made me want to do that. Oh, is this an Entomb now? Yeah, all right. I guess I'll let Entomb happen. They already have something good to reanimate, so I'm not that scared of the Entomb. No More Lies also can stop some animates. Not necessarily all of them, of course. Especially as Sven draws a land. But I do have a Samwise that can also block if I need to. And if Sven reanimates the Emberwild and I can't No More Lies it, I'll just go end of turn Samwise, untap, Unexpectedly Absent or something like that. Or maybe I will... Hymn to Tarak is going to be good in a turn. Vamp upkeep. Oh, perfect. That means that the No More Lies is likely going to be good enough, because Sven could have had a land, I suppose. Oh, Miracling Metamorphosis Fanatic. Oh, that's pretty neat. No More Lies is going to end this game, but it is pretty neat. All right, No More Lies. No More Lies. Hymn your hand. Have Unexpectedly Absent up. Still have the Monarch. Game. But, all right. I like how this is going. Oops. Didn't mean to click into my attacks. Well, I'm not attacking this turn anyway, so let's go land. Hymn you. No cards in it. Chaos Defiler and Unholy Heat, huh? And then I'm just going to go Lurrus and Ocelot Pride. And pass the turn. And Sven has 1 turn to draw an animate spell. And if they do, they could get something good going on. If they don't, they're basically just dead. Okay. Got game 1. All right. Against Reanimator. It does make Mockingbird a little bit more interesting, certainly. Nowhere to Run maybe is a little worse. It kills the Emberwild Captain, but nothing else. And Mockingbird, casting it for 4 or 5 to copy Emberwild Captain or Chaos Defiler is pretty great. Cryptic Command, probably don't need to run that. All right, on the draw again. Hopefully a Lotus Petal in the opener. Wouldn't mind that. Yeah, I will still like Lurrus. And yeah, I'll run this. I mean, I could mulligan to try to find a Duress or an Inquisition or a Hymn, but I don't think that's a good idea. They have plenty of controlling cards. I'll play the Tar Pit, I guess. If it's Entomb, Exhume, turn 1 Entomb, turn 2 Animate, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's not good for me. But here, let's go. I think pretty easy Tundra into a Johnny. And of course, I'm aware of like the Pyrokinesis and the K command and the Unholy Heat and all that stuff. But Ajani's a pretty good play against all of that. Depending what Sven does here, I might get to run the Mockingbird Ajani play. We'll see. See if this is a removal spell or something, or maybe it's just that recurring nightmare once more. That's not that strong of a play, so I would imagine it's going to be something a little better. It could be a Toxic Deluge, I guess, but you might want to wait a little longer to try to catch more things with that. Could be a K command. What would it be? It'd be like, kill the Ajani, I discard a card or something like that. I would just discard Lingering Souls in that instance. I mean, you got to play something here, or at least it would be strange to have a cube draw where you don't have a play on the first 3 turns. That is not typical. So, curious what they're up to here. I really would like to draw one of my Duress, Inquisition, Grief. Oh, I don't care about that. Grief, Pitching, Entomb. I mean, I guess I like that Entomb is going. My hand is all like, there's one removal spell, so I guess Bitter Triumph is a card you could take. I just have a bunch of threats other than that. But yes, I would like to draw Inquisition, Duress, Him, or No More Lies. Though, depending on how this turn goes, maybe I don't want to draw one of those. If Sven takes Bitter Triumph and then gets a creature into play, I would prefer then to just draw, I don't know, something a little more proactive, but we'll see. I guess Him is probably going to be a decent draw regardless. Though I can't cast it next turn. Flooded Strand, remember, does not get untapped black. That was the cost of taking Misty Rainforest over Underground Sea, but I still think the Misty is better as a tri-land. Securitron Squadron got taken. That wouldn't have been my guess. My guess is the most likely card to have been taken is Bitter Triumph because it's the most unique, and the second most likely was Mockingbird because of the Ajani combo, but I guess I'll attack. See what Sven does. I don't really want to drop Mockingbird here if there's not a reason to. Like, if Sven's tapped out and my Ajani's alive, that's one thing, but I think this is going to be a K command, yeah. All right. That's fine. And then I think I just play Lingering Souls. And I suppose I actually don't need to... I could have played Flooded Strand to not show Sven my hand, but presumably Grief's just going to get cast here, take the Mockingbird. Otherwise, I just get to cast Mockingbird and copy Grief. So, all right. I mean, I still have Bitter Triumph here. And then next turn, I can put Lurrus into my hand and play Shadowy Backstreet, or I could flashback Lingering Souls. Yeah, Mockingbird kind of has to get taken. All right. Rafine's Tower. Not a very good draw. Let's go Shadowy Backstreet. I actually think Duress is probably fine because I'm going to put Lurrus into hand now and send. I guess I didn't really need to tap out before attacking, but I thought this trade was going to happen no matter what. I suppose this means that Sven can now reanimate the Grief. Piggy Bank is not that, though. Now, let's go Duress, because I don't want to run Lurrus out there if without protection, and Duress does that. Through the Breach with Chaos Defiler and... Okay, I'll take Through the Breach, and... I think I'm going to cycle the Rafine's Tower. Or actually, let's go Lingering Souls. Play Flooded Strand. And attack for 2 in the air. I'm not going to play Lurrus into Chaos Defiler here. No real reason to do that. And I think this Creeping Tar Pit is about to start getting in there. Metamorphosis Fanatic was the miracle card? Oh my god. Okay. And I can't... Yeah, all right. That was an incredible draw. Wow. Getting back the Grief and then... I thought I was in pretty good shape too. All right. I mean, you take Lurrus, I would imagine. Could take Bitter Triumph, I guess. But Lurrus seems like the card to take. Yeah. And they both have lifelink too? Like, all right. Well, let's crack Flooded Strand and get Indatha Triumph. I'm not trading for Piggy Bank. I might have to trade 2 tokens for that. Well, okay, that was a really good draw. So let's cast this to start with. Exiling. I want to keep... I think I'll just keep a Johnny. Because I would really like to cast another card this turn. Like Bitter Triumph, for example. Oh, him to Turok. Yeah, so let's put him into my hand. And then I think Ponder. Because I want to find a reanimate for Lurrus more than anything else. And then here, let's just go him. Play Rafine's Tower. And now I'm not really going to... I think I'm just going to trade off my 4 Spirit tokens for the 2 non-Metamorphosis Fanatic cards. Or 2 each, rather. Because they're getting 7. I'm already not, like, going to be winning a race here. Okay, looks like it all worked out. I go to 11, Sven goes to 21, has now 5 mana, 1 new card in hand. I have a Bitter Triumph that can kill the Fanatic. Let's Ponder. Reanimate could also get back Itali. Evolve, Sleeper, and lands. Huh. I think I'm just going to shuffle and draw. I don't want to use that. I guess I'll pay the 3 life for Bitter Triumph. And send with my Tar Pit. And if I draw Life Death or Reanimate, I'm in really good shape. I've got a couple other threats in my deck that would be pretty decent to draw. And Sven hopefully draws a couple lands down the stretch here. Pay 3 life. Kill that. I mean, I have one removal spell kind of like in the bag already here. Land and go. Okay. That's also a land. I guess I'll keep a land in hand in case of what? Okay, I've already used the K command. I just don't think I'm going to need to cast Absent for 2 this turn, and I don't have a lot of card draw in my deck, so I think I'll wait. Okay, Sven seems to have drawn a couple land in a row. Oh baby, 3-bit Inspector. Let's go. Oh, this is where I get punished for not playing the land, funnily enough. If I drew a land there. Oh, Bauble? All right, I like that. Let's Bauble Sven. Recurring Nightmare. Okay, I'm probably not going to need my Unexpectedly Absent then. Because getting this 3 in is really important, but if Sven had a Haster on top, I wouldn't have wanted to do that. I'm assuming Sven doesn't have a card in hand, like a creature in hand right now. That would be pretty odd. Not exactly the time to draw Petal. And now it's like, do you play the Recurring Nightmare or do you hold on to it? If you play it, it could get exercised. If you hold on to it, it could get discarded. All right. Played it. Oh, they did have a creature? Oh, no, they had a Chainsaw. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. That's definitely the card they could have had that didn't have anything to do. Ooh, Life Death. Okay. I think I've got a win here, right? Let's see. Do I have enough? I have enough mana. So, like, I get to go Death on Lurrus. I go to 5. And they're at 12. And then a Johnny. So I'm 1 short of attacking with Tar Pit this turn, but I get to go Unexpectedly Absent the Recurring Nightmare for 1 here. I think, or for 0, I think is good. And then pass. Draws Recurring Nightmare, plays it. Or not, I'm not sure. Probably has to, because what if you draw an expensive creature? So I guess I don't have the win here, but I get to get pretty close to it. And now let's go Bauble you. It's a Blackcleave Cliffs. Okay, that's game. Ocelot Pride. Tar Pit. Ooh. Got him. I do like that. Attack. I go gain some life. Pride makes a bunch of tokens. I draw off Bauble a land. Sven drew a land, and boom. Looks like we got him. And that was classic Lurrus. We just traded card for card over and over again. I played Lurrus. Well, they actually made me discard Lurrus the first time. Then I reanimated it, played it again, and ended up a couple cards short. We ground through a lot both those games. So that was pretty nice, and we are 1-0. All right, our next opponent is Thibaut, who we're watching here. I just tuned in right at the end, and there we go. Memory Jar with a Orcish Bowmasters. That will basically do it. My teammate Broccoli Rob does not seem to have the bolt, so that's going to be enough. And all right, we're 1-0, and it is time to battle this kind of like Esper-ish combo deck with Jar, Strix, Bowmasters. Let's see how that goes. All right, we are on the draw here, and hoping to find some duress type effects. That would be nice. The bow's actually 2-0. They went ahead and played their round 2 before we played. So we're playing for the 3-0 here. Okay. No white mana, but I have an Inquisition and 2 good white 1-drops, or 1-drop and a 2-drop. The Squadron plays a bit as a 5. I really like the Squadron for Lurrus decks. I think that's a cool addition. Is this a mulligan? Is it? It seems kind of bad. Well, so the advantage is that this is where Lurrus really shines. I do have a Lurrus to go get. An Inquisition is pretty good. All right, I think I will keep this. They mulliganed, yeah. Having them mulligan and then getting to Inquisition them feels like it's going to be pretty good. I've got like 1 out of every 3 cards my deck produces white, and I have basically a 1-drop, another 1-drop, and a 3-mana play in putting Lurrus into hand, so I feel like you add all those up and it's okay. Okay, no currency converter, because that would have been a disaster. It's funny to reanimate. Well, let's just go Inquisition. Maybe I'll take a Bowmasters and then get to reanimate it. So this is Basalt Monolith, Dismember, Narset, Lorien revealed. All right, I am just going to take the Narset. Dismember, I don't really care too much about. I have to make sure not to get my Lurrus dismembered without value, but I'm happy enough to just trade one of my creatures for it here and stop the Narset, because the rest of... Eagles was the draw. Because the rest of Thibaut's hand is just a Dismember and mana, and we know about at least 1 draw 7, probably 2. Savai Triumph, all right. Broccoli Rob, my teammate, did end up with the 4th-year Lingus, which I do like. Nowhere to Run doesn't do anything, so let's go Creeping Tar Pit and reanimate those Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I've got nothing better to do. I'm probably putting Lurrus in next turn. Let's just get a 3/3 into play. I don't know. The bow has Saheeli in their deck too, so like putting this into play makes Saheeli a worse play. Basalt Monolith is a pretty reasonable play this turn, and then you just wait, hold on Dismember. Okay. And 1 card in hand that I don't know about. Well, drawing a white card isn't ideal. Lurrus is actually a little weak against draw 7s, which is funny. Okay. I mean, this game has gone totally fine so far. It's just if we get to turn 5 or whatever, or turn 4, and I haven't drawn a plains, then things could get a little awkward here. 2 cards in hand. Oh, something big. 4 mana. Spellseeker, interesting. Spellseeker for what? Balance? Dismember the Spellseeker and then balance? Or whatever, dismember one of the 2. All right, I guess my Lurrus is gone. The rest of my hand didn't really do anything, so this isn't too bad, and Thibaut loses a land. Sure, my hand was actually really bad, so this honestly could have been worse for me. Like, obviously I picked up Lurrus, which makes the balance worse, but they've got nothing, I've got nothing. All right. Lingering Souls would have been a nice card to discard to the balance. They do get to untap Basalt Monolith here. I suppose that's a thing. Okay, Flooded Strand. There we go. And this is actually perfect because I get to get Tundra, which means I not only get to cast Lingering Souls, but now I can start sending with Tar Pit. Basalt Monolith's going to get untapped here. Oh no, Zagoth Triumph got cycled instead. Sure. That's reasonable. Into Island plus go. Let's see what I draw. Bauble. Okay. Yeah, let's go Lingering Souls. And I think I don't have any counters left in my deck. They're going to untap Monolith. I'm going to wait on the Bauble. Well, Bowmasters makes waiting on the Bauble really bad, so let's just Bauble, Jar. All right. Jar's a good one. All right. And a Johnny. So if the foe gets to play Jar this turn, it even turns on Mox Opal. I guess the question is, do you crack the Jar right away, or do you wait? Because, funnily enough, because it turns on Mox Opal, Thibaut can go Jar and then untap Jar with, or untap Basalt Monolith using Opal. Probably should just do that. I can attack for 7. Oh no, we're just going for it. Sure. Not a great hand. Unfortunately, it's my only other way to get Lurrus back, so Lurrus won't be re-entering the building this game, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. If I get to play a Bitter Triumph this turn at least, so that, I mean, assuming Thibaut plays a target. All right, Baleful Strix, sure. That's a target. Yeah, I think the Jar play, my inclination where I am Thibaut's spot is to wait a turn. I don't really know the exact content of their deck, of course. Oh, Currency Converter is pretty good. That lets you make some plays, make some moves. Oh, and oust on a token. And no land. Huh? All right. Discard a card. Kill that, and then Currency Converter triggers Ancestral Recall Mana Drain. Yeah, the Thibaut's got a Mox Sapphire and an Ancestral Recall, so some pretty good stuff. Converter is going to make some ground blockers, but it's not too bad. Let's go Concealed Courtyard. I'm just going to Tar Pit here. The oust was actually really good because I'm one short now of winning next turn, but I think that this is still going to be my best shot. I can hit for 6, and I guess if I draw a land, I could still even play a Johnny. The boat's got 2 cards in hand. Got to worry about Bowmasters, certainly. But Bowmasters doesn't kill the Creeping Tar Pit. Creeping Tar Pit really just, that card closes games, you know? It's a pretty reasonable one. And I don't have much in the way of disruption that I can draw at this point. My No Moralize is gone. I don't think Duress is even going to do anything because at this point, if the Bow has plays, they will just make those plays. And I don't have a whole lot else. I guess I could draw like an Unexpectedly Absent. That could mess with what they're doing, perhaps. Imperial Seal going down to 5, but can use Currency Converter to immediately get access to the card. Oh, but is not doing that. Interesting. Well, I don't really have much of a choice here, I feel like. All right, there we go. We got game 1. And do I want to bring in Cryptic Command or Time Warp or Mockingbird? I don't think Mockingbird does too much. It's good against Orcish Bowmasters. That much is true. Can copy Spellseeker. Do I have things that are bad? Exercise is good. It can kill artifacts. Nowhere to Run isn't good, but it kills Bowmasters, which is pretty important. Yeah, I think I'd rather just keep things as is. All right. Let's reveal Lurrus on the draw. Yeah, I can't really justify mulling this hand. I get to go turn 1, Evolve Sleeper. Turn 2, Pump the Sleeper plus Ponder. The only thing that's mildly awkward about that is I don't have a way to ponder shuffle immediately. Oh, you took my Ether Spell Bomb. Oy, okay, it's a good start. Oh, Mishra's Bauble. That's pretty nice. Let's bauble myself. I can change up my plays. Oh, do I want Dig Through Time? I mean, I already have 4 cards that go to the graveyard. I feel like Dig is actually going to be fine to draw. I'll be able to cast it on turn 3 pretty easily. So let's play Evolved Sleeper. Let's see what next is up. All right, I don't like the Bowmasters too much. That's pretty annoying. Oh, now I guess I think I'm going to have Courtyard come in tapped, because what I want to do this turn is nowhere to run the Bowmasters while they can't use Spell Bomb. And then next turn Ponder Shuffle, so I guess I actually do play Island. And nowhere to run the Bowmasters. Okay. Yeah, Ancestral's pretty good. Trading, I got 2 for 1 by Bowmasters, and now I got 3 for 1 by Ancestral, so we're down a few cards, but hopefully the Ponder plus Dig will find us some action, because next turn I'm going to Ponder and hope... Oh man, that Urza's Saga is going to be pretty good. This game, we're getting kind of outpowered. Both... I wouldn't play Pentad Prism with Urza's Saga if it were me, but you know, you can play it for 1 if you want. I didn't really just mean power like Ancestral, though that certainly is part of it. Just in general, the bow's doing way more powerful stuff. So I could leave up No More Lies, but that does not seem like a good play. Let's do this. Oh, okay. Shuffle. No shuffle. Reanimate Bowmasters. Oh, that was just a terrible play. What am I even thinking? Sometimes I just get too excited and just like do things, and it does not work out well. Like, for example, reanimating a Bowmasters and letting them Ether Spellbomb it back to their own hand. Yeah, let's try not doing that. So my thought was like next turn they're gonna just be using Urza's Saga, but yeah. I think having a Bowmasters in play against them is generally good because it stops their draw spells, or at least makes them weaker. But that was not the way to do it. All right, well, let's just go Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. They're going to make a Saga token. I still have Bitter Triumph up. They're going to make another Saga token and get a Mox Sapphire at the very least. I think what I'm going to do here is block with the Bowmasters, if they let me block with it. What should I have done this turn? I think keeping Reanimate Bitter Triumph isn't crazy, but certainly this wasn't the way to do it. Chromehost Seed Shark. Oh, well, they can't pay because of the Pentad Prism debacle, so definitely doing that. And I mean, this actually is going to work out fine, because now I just block like that, and then they let it happen. And then end of turn, I'm going to crack Strand, get Tundra, Bitter Triumph. I think I pay 3 life. Kill the Construct. And then I get to Dig Through Time here. I think I'll sack Misty, just get an island. I guess I only had the 1 island. I actually should have played Misty first before Flooded Strand. Exile land. I mean, I guess the spells are okay to exile. Leaving the 2 permanents in the graveyard. All right. The one thing that's bad is if the bow plays like a Time Spiral or something. Okay, this is a pretty good set of cards. Let's take, I think I want to take Exercise Inquisition. Or is it Malcolm Inquisition? Actually, I think it's Malcolm Inquisition. I definitely want an Inquisition here. I think I'll just take the Exercise because that can just kill the Golem. Inquisition. Hit Balance, leaving Memory Jar, and then kill the Construct. Rather, not Golem. and hit for 1. And now it's all right. I mean, the Woe can play Jar. I think that's okay. Should I have just saved an exercise for the Jar? Maybe that would have been better. Because then I would have chumped. The Golem is pretty dangerous, or the Construct. Let's go land. Honestly, I think here I just play Lurrus and hope it lives through the turn. I mean, I got a Bauble to play too, so that's pretty sick actually. And let's hit for 1. I don't want to crack the Bauble yet. The reason is, if I crack Bauble now, Thibaut can wait till the Bauble triggers on the stack on upkeep and then crack Jar in response, and then the card I draw off Bauble I'll have to discard and give back. All right, that was a good hand to get milled. Let's hope this doesn't work out too poorly. Could I have faded the Golem for the Construct for a few turns? I would have cast Thraben, chumped, exercised, put Lurrus into hand, chumped. Maybe, but with Aether Spellbomb, that's also kind of dangerous. So I don't know. I really am not sure. Well, Balance, Ancestral, and Bowmasters are all in the graveyard. That has to be a pretty good start for me. Whoa, what is this? 7 mana? 8 mana? It's like a Time Spiral? Or is it something else, like a Ballista maybe? Oh, Upheaval. Okay, Upheaval Jar is pretty disgusting. Oh, I needed to sack the Bauble then, actually. Into Saheeli? Oh, I think I'm just dead. Sapphire, Mox Opal, Pentad Prism. Yeah, all right. All right. Yeah, I maybe should have chumped the Construct a few times. I don't know. Do I want Mockingbird is another question. Mockingbird is not a bad card. It is a pretty decent answer to the Bowmasters, I suppose. Maybe it's just but Nowhere to Run's an instant. That's a really big deal. Maybe I just take out Evolved Sleeper for the exact reason that I just died. Like it dies to Bowmaster, takes a lot of mana. All right, I think I like this. All right, I would like to play first. And well, this hand is excellent. This hand has a lot of the cards I want to see here. I think I'm just gonna go turn 1 Inquisition. Getting to hit Ancestral or something sounds pretty good. Memory Lapse or Aether Spellbomb? I'll take Memory Lapse. Pass the turn. Lapse, Ragran Triumph. Oh, there's a Jar in there too. So then on my turn, Tar Pit. I'll play the Petal and I'll pass. I could Malcolm here. I'd have to crack Lotus Petal to do so. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Because it kind of trades for Aether Spellbomb one way or another. And I'm going to attack first, because if Malcolm gets bounced, then I'll probably want to recast it. All right. Draw, and now I can discard Swamp. I think I'm going to Ponder. I don't want to put Lurrus into hand. I want to look for a cheap white creature to play. No More Lies. No More Lies actually sounds pretty good. Let's... not shuffle, play a land, and just pass the turn. I don't... This was kind of a inefficient use of mana, but I think the advantage I got is that No More Lies is really strong, so it was worth keeping that even if I knew it meant that I wasn't doing anything the rest of the turn, and I'm okay shuffling away Misty Rainforest. I think that with a Malcolm in play, I'm not that interested in drawing more lands anyway. Like, Malcolm will let me see enough cards. Mox Opal, okay. And then pass. No, I guess I do have a Surveil land. I have a Shadowy Backstreet. Is that better? No, it's probably not better than Rafine's Tower here. Again, surveilling when I have Malcolm out is just not as relevant, and I have some pretty intense color requirements. Plus, it would be really nice to make sure I can activate Tar Pit when I need to. bouncing Malcolm now. All right, now I guess I wouldn't mind a land. All right, bobble you. Zagoth Triumph. Okay, let's just pass the turn. Draw. Zagoth Triumph getting played or cycled? It looks like cycled. Malcolm, end of turn. Hope it doesn't get owned somehow. Bowmasters would be the card I'm most scared of. Now I wouldn't mind a land. Let's attack first. I don't think I need to duress first. Kind of want to see what I draw. Kind of an interesting discard now. I guess life death is probably it. Land. I could duress an upheaval. Honestly, though, I think I'm just going to play a Johnny and I'll wait to duress next turn. Because I know there's an upheaval as a card I would be interested in taking. So just waiting seems like it's pretty good. Cycle Zagoth Triumph, sure. Because this way I get to put a Johnny into play because I want to put pressure out and have no more lies up. And I can still know my duress is going to get a relevant card. Once again, I could attack first. This time, since I know I'm casting duress this turn, let's just duress. I'm getting mana drained. That's what it looks like. All right, that I'm okay with. That is effectively I got to duress a mana drain. They get 1 mana next turn. Oh, what is this? Did they draw the Bowmasters? Well, I think I'm going to counter it. It's too much. And upheaval is pretty far from being good. So I think I'll just hit for 5 and discard Giver of Runes. And the reason that I want to do that is I want to play this Plains because Giver's not going to do anything here. And if the bow does cast upheaval this turn out of maybe desperation, I want to be able to recast the Malcolm. I think that's a pretty big deal. Sadly, my Lotus Petal's gone. That's a good one. Post upheaval. Narset. Okay. Let's see what Narset hits, huh? Basalt Monolith. Oh, well, that's actually fine. I have the Exercise in hand. Because obviously, Monolith upheaval is pretty scary. All right, well. So now the question is, do I activate Tar Pit? I think I do. I'm locking myself in. So if I use Tar Pit here, how much damage am I doing to them? I'm doing 3 to them. They're 9. Yeah, Tar Pit makes it lethal. All right. I think it's worth it. So let's attack Narset. Attack the bow. Draw. Plains, land. Exercise the Monolith. So I guess this means I can't recast Malcolm this turn, but the upheaval this turn is so unbelievably bad. Land, upheaval, discard is just not a winning play regardless. So I think that if the bow's at higher life, they could wait 1 more turn on upheaval, and that would be worse for me. So yeah, jar. Okay. Well, you kind of got to crack the jar now. So that looks like it's going to be pretty hard to win. Oh, baby. Going to be 2-0? Oh, 2-0, and that actually will do it. Thibaut was the only person on their team who won, so we actually kind of crushed them. Oh, this is not the deck I was playing. We got my Esper Lurrus deck up here, but that does conclude the draft. It'll be a 2-rounder today, but you know what? That does happen. This is a different Esper Lurrus deck, actually. Is this deck better? Hold on, I want to see. It's got a Mox. It's got a Demonic Tutor. It's got an Accursed Marauder. It's a little bit later, older cube list. Funny. I guess at some point I'll find the deck. But in any case, here, I've got a picture of the deck we can look at. This was a totally reasonable Lurrus deck, and it played just like Lurrus kind of intends to. This is this is obviously short on power from like an ideal Lurrus deck. Like a nice piece of power can be really nice in these decks, a Lotus especially. Oof. But when I think of Lurrus, when I first picked Lurrus, this is kind of the deck I'm thinking of. Like, it had a Duress, it had an Inquisition, it had a No More Lies. I would have loved like one more counterspell. Like having a Remand or a Mana Leak would have been perfect. But it's got, you know, a bunch of good things to bring back off Lurrus, like Petal and Bauble, and like a bunch of cheap creatures so it can put some pressure on. Got some removal. Exercise has been pretty nice. Exercise, Unexpectedly Absent, Bitter Triumph. Oh, Him was another nice hand disruption card. Had a couple ways to bring back Lurrus, had good mana. This is an ideal Lurrus deck, and, you know, you may not like it, haters, but this is what peak Lurrus looks like. Well, not peak without power, but we 2-0'd beating some good decks. You know, it's not like they had perfect draws, but that's just Magic, and got to play the game of duress you, counter your spell, kill your thing, trade my creature for removal, replay Lurrus, and then just kind of go from there. So that'll do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this look at Lurrus and winning, two things which I do love to do. And you know what? I'll be back tomorrow with another draft. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.